Hi everybody, I'm Brie the Plant Lady, and welcome to my Foodscape. I hope you'll join me today for a fall tour. Starting off here in the front borders, I am ready to call this quits. Sadly, my big summer grain planting really didn't come to fruition because these trees are providing too much shade at this stage. So I'm just waiting for the seed to ripen so I can harvest it. Then I'll mow these patches down and get them planted for the cool season. This year, I plan on doing barley, crimson clover, and a mix of poppies and larkspur. I think it's gonna look really great come the spring. The front bed that welcomes visitors has really come to full fruition. Planted with all summer annuals, it's full and dense and covered in pollinators. The front border mixed with mycrete dwarf basil and zinnia angustifolia has helped keep the rabbits from eating everything else. The strongly scented plectranthus is providing a perfect ground cover, and the salvias and coleus have filled in all the gaps. You barely even notice that there are edibles planted right alongside all these ornamentals. A very productive patch of jalapeno peppers and some of the only tomatoes that have made it through the entire growing season. Overall, this landscape renovation that we did through the summer season has proven to be one of the most popular areas in our home garden. We're able to greet guests with proper social distancing and even have the shade of a bright blue umbrella. Hands down, the most impressive planting this year is coming from the live wall. This is all coleus planted in April. It's on a self-irrigating timer, and it has looked awesome all season. Additionally, the black madras rice planted in pots with no holes has looked great. And now it's in seed, so soon I'll be able to harvest. All the containers in this area are super convenient because look, that's where the hose is. And I walk out of this door and I'm able to water these plants so that they never get stressed. The real sign for autumn, to me, is when the OSMANTHUS fragrans start to bloom. And this is a fabulous scented, brilliantly colored variety, OSMANTHUS fragrans variety AURANTIACUS. I wish there was smell-o-vision because this scent is so intoxicating. This is one of the few shrubs that's left in my original border that was sadly removed after Hurricane Matthew when all the original Leyland cypress fell. Overall, this south-facing property border has been a great success combined with annuals, perennials, and trees and shrubs. The wine bottle walk greets visitors and actually gives you an opportunity to go right to my neighbor's yard. And you can see I've been getting started on putting in some cool season vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage through these borders. And I've also gotten started on planting my garlic edges, which are my insurance policy from the in-ground mammals like voles. Remnants of summer include peppers, tomatoes, and okra. The okra are doing especially well through here. You can see they're still flowering and setting edible pods, but the deer are doing their jobs. You see they're nibbling on the foliage. As we walk back to the shadier section of this border, not only is it shade, but it's very wet. This woodland, which we have a half an acre of, is actually a swamp. It holds a lot of water, which makes growing in it somewhat difficult. However, as the property rises towards the house, I'm able to have drier land. This is one of my favorite areas that I renovated last winter. I call it my workspace. And basically I just removed raised beds made out of wooden boxes and put down a substrate called Chapel Hill grit. And now I'm able to have large containers that I can grow lots of vegetables in. And then my foundation for our garage is filled with a great mix of ornamentals, trees, shrubs, perennials, herbs, and then various flowers and vegetables like sweet potatoes and pumpkins. I love plants that are capable of covering ground. That way they smother weeds and I'm not spending all of my time ripping out plants that are undesirable. And that's really what I grow pumpkins to be able to achieve. They are one of the most efficient plants at smothering out unwanted weeds. You can see the greenhouse is full of cool season veggies that I've purchased here, but also grew from seed, all of these trays. And in the next couple of days, I'm gonna get busy doing some tear outs and replanting. The fig border has grown really well, and it is setting fruit, although I worry that these won't actually get large enough and ripen before we have frost in, 6 to 8 weeks. For me, figs haven't really been reliable as far as their fruiting habit, but they certainly do fill up some space. Adjacent to the figs are a blueberry hedge. This is a variety called powder blue. It's one of my most productive varieties. And at the bottom of that, you see my classic Foodscape pairing. That is Chandler strawberry growing as a ground cover at the base of those blueberries. I always preach about putting your containers together so that it's easy to keep them watered. And this is a perfect example of a space surrounding my fire pit that I grew lots of different summer containers in so that every day I could walk in here with a hose and manage everything really easily. Coleus are one of the most important plants for my summer designs. They always perform. I'm able to use them for cut foliage arrangements and root them throughout the summer. Mixed in with things like sweet potatoes and peanuts and zinnias, I just think that all of these summer annuals are really important for creating dynamic colors and textures that are relatively low maintenance once they're established. This is a pumpkin that's new to me. The Florida Master Gardener sent me the seed back in May, and it's done extraordinarily well, growing well into the tree canopy, and it's starting to set really cute fruit. The north property border is an area that I've always concentrated on growing collector trees and shrubs in. It says ideal light for broadleaf evergreens like camellias, my favorite plant of all time. So I have a collection of interesting plants that are primarily winter active, planted here on the north side of my house. And as we round the corner, you can see under the shade of a live oak, I have beautiful tropicals, things like hedychium that bloom all fall and have a fabulous fragrance. Now it may be time for me to take a little break and enjoy the garden from the view of the hammock. Have a great day, everybody, and thanks for watching.